What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. We're gonna go in it part 2, why the wealthy don't use banks, non-stop money, pre-selling, real estate, and online money. So many of you saw the video part 1, and I'm gonna link it up here for you to check it out. What I said there is absolutely true, and we're gonna have to do this video again. Why? Because so many people leave silly comments like, well, how do they get their money out their ATM? How they pay their utilities? How they got their car driving? How they do all this stuff? You and I both know Warren Buffett and these people don't leave all their money in the bank. That would be stupid, okay? So let's try this again. We're gonna start with what I personally know and personally do. I'm in not 1, not 2, 3 investment groups. One I do a little bit of stocks with, one I do real estate with. Actually, the first one I'm gonna do stocks and real estate soon with. But I'm gonna break it down to you how people in these groups never use the bank, really. Use cash, they use sell notes, they work with others. Teamwork makes the dream work. Are you ready? All right, number 1. Let's say there's a $50,000 house and you get it under contract, but you don't want to use your $50,000. Let's say you know 50 people who will each put in $1,000 to close this deal in cash. You know them, you can go reach out to them and get the checks. Now, you're gonna say, Erica, that's 50 people on one house? How do they do that? LLCs, okay? Keynote, LLCs. So let's say the rent on this property is only 900 bucks. Not fancy, not a lot. 900 bucks divided by 50 people is only $18 a month. That's not shiny, is it? Not really nice. That's only $216 a year, right? Now, but let's say this group of people get together and do this every month. And 10 months in, each person's getting $180 or $2,600 a year. Now let's say they keep going as a group. They keep going for years, or sometimes they double up and buy 2 houses in a month. Let's say they get to 50 houses together. Well, that means each person's getting a check for $900 monthly, okay? Then they're getting, on top of it, really, at the end of the year, $10,800. Now, of course, you're gonna say, Erica, fees and other stuff. We're talking about buying $50,000 houses cash. Pay attention. Now, let's say they get to 100 houses together as a group. That means every month, each person in this group is getting $1,800 bucks. At the end of the year, they're getting $21,000. $21,600. Now, you're gonna say, that's pretty decent. But I put $100,000 into this group of people. I could have just took my $100,000 and got my own house, giving me $1,800 a month. True, you could have, but how many people have $100,000 they can just break off right now? Not many. Many have $1,000, many have $2,000, many have $10,000, but most people don't have $100,000 outside of their 401k and their savings to just break off and invest in a house. If they did, we'd have a lot more real estate investors. But a lot of people can get their hands on $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Now, when you get to 100 houses together in this group and you've got a $1,800 check coming to your bank, coming into your mailbox, coming to your bank deposit every month, that feels good. But you can also use your K form as you get in your taxes from this investment group to show banks, hey, I'm partial owner in 100 properties and I want bank financing to do other stuff. Now, many of you say, well, Erica, didn't you just say in the beginning of this video we're not using banks? Just an option. They have that option. Once they can prove and show they have lots of money, lots of investments. Now, let's throw it up a notch. 1 or 2 people in the group, they got real money. They got big baller money. They got 50,000, 100,000. It's not uncommon. And when notes are shopped around at these investment groups, when I go to them, and these aren't like your RIA groups, these are groups I've paid in to be a part of. You have to be investing with the group to stay in the group, okay? Now you got $100,000 and they can guarantee you a 23% interest note. Yeah, that's very common when you're talking about investing in apartments and you're investing in large scale commercial loans. Now, you say, what if you get 50 people together who have $100,000? That's a $5 million apartment complex. Or that's $2 million apartment complex in cash. Cash, buyers usually beat out every other person. So Let's say they just say, you know what we're gonna pay you back your money over a 7 to 15 year note. Let's say they pay it back to you over 7 years. They're gonna give you $18,000 over the next 7 years, probably a little bit extra on the back end. And many of you are gonna, oh, you're good at the math. Give me a rest, give me a break on that. But that's just some of the notes. Now, I'm gonna see if I can blur and put some white out over pieces of the documents I have printed out, and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about so you can see these numbers, because many of you don't believe unless you see it or touch it or smell it, which that's your own thing. Okay, now many of you go, well, Erica, where can I get in investment groups like that? Well, Todd Capital is an example. They're buying real estate together in a group. It means a group of people put their 1,000 or their particular number in on his real estate side, but they also have the stock market side where you're investing in the stock market. So instead of just your $1,000 buying a bunch of one stock, you got 200 people in a group buying $20,000 in a stock, getting big chunks, big moves in your position. So again, that's just one example. Another example is I'm with the Brad Sumrock group in Dallas. I'm with another group out in Houston, which we won't say their name, but that's another group I'm with that I'm investing real estate with. Small, cheaper properties, 30,000, 40,000 on the edges in the middle of nowhere's kind of investment group. Now let's talk about Darius Cooks. I did a video earlier and that's why I posted it. It was kind of short and quick, but I think you guys really don't understand what I'm trying to say here. The guy made several $1 million. He's living in a big old giant house in Georgia, a little mini mansion, and he has a restaurant, and he has several other businesses. Now, here's why I keep saying wealthy people don't use banks. Now, he went and pre-sold his book. Hey, everybody, grab the book. Here's the Shopify website. He actually uses Shopify. Go to this website. Go to this website. Buy this book. Now, let's just do simple math. It's a $40 book. And if you look at the thumbnail, you can see where I added it on there. $40 book times 1,000 sales. Let's just say he does 1,000 sales a year. We're doing small. That's $40,000 off one book. Let's say he has 5 different cookbooks. One for alcohol, one for desserts, one for vegan because he's on his vegan thing now. Let's just say that. So 5 books would bring him in $200,000 a year. And all he gotta do is show a couple videos and talk about his book, right? Look at his Instagram. That's where most of his sales come from. Now, let's flip that thing. And let's say he sells 10,000 copies per each book. That's $2 million a year. Now, many of you go, Eric, 10,000 copies? That's crazy. No, think about Rachel Ray. Think about all these cookbooks you see when you go to Barnes & Nobles. There's a reason they keep producing them and keep making them. Now imagine Rachel Ray sells 10,000 copies every year when people's parents do what? Give them to students when they go to college, give them to when they get their first apartment, give it to them when they first get married. These things happen all over the United States. So let's say 10,000 books every year, each cookbook he has. And let's say he eventually gets to 10 cookbooks. You're talking about huge chunks of money. You're talking about $4 million a year at some point. If he just keeps saying, hey, go check out this book I have. Hey, or buys a couple ads, go check out this book. He's pre-selling. You saw where he was saying the books are almost in, like I've sold out of books. That meant what? He had to go order some more books to come directly to his house and sell direct to the customer. Why is that important, direct to the customer? Because that means I have your email and I can send you specials. I can say, hey, there's a Darius Cooks t-shirt, there's a Darius Cook bunker sticker, there's Darius Cooks mugs and cups and glasses. He can always keep adding to this collection. People really get short-sighted on that. And when I tell you about writing, being a writer, being a t-shirt salesperson, you can pre-sell your way to a lot of money. And people go, $25 books, you know, what is that? Or $20 books. $20 books times 25 people each month, that's $500. Now let's say you have 10 books. You know, let's say you have a series in fiction you wrote. 10 books times 500 is $5,000 a month, you being an actual writer. That's why I put the course together, Living as an Author. It's on the Growth for Leaders website. You guys can always check it out there. But here's another thing. When I talk about Lending Club and Prosper and crowdfunding sites, that's what these people are doing. They're taking their money that they would only be getting 1-2% at the bank, even when you get $1 million, and they're getting 18 and 20% off their money. So no, they don't use the banks. They make their money work. They leave very little in banks. I know several people who, you can even check out Grant Dardone's channel, when he talks about trying to get his $1 million out of the bank, they said, well, you got to let us know a week in advance. He's like a week in advance to get my money I put in the bank out. Think about it, people. It's, you know, he's better off investing in all his rental properties. And when that money comes in the bank, taking that money out and putting it somewhere else where it can keep working and working and growing. So anyway, I just want to put that book out, the video out again, because if for some reason it's like you guys hear it and you're like, well, how about this? Well, how about if they spend dollars over here? Those things don't matter. The wealthy get money by pre-selling, group economics, which means they go find a group of people who want to chip in on something and they make their money. So everybody, this is Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Definitely check me out at the Classy SEL blog. Also, check out any of the courses, links below if you want to talk to me. Credit repair, you know it's down below. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Later, you guys.